At this place in history, we're in Jeffersonville with Steve Perkins, the executive director of the Vermont Historical Society. Steve, we're on School Street, and people can likely see that the Cambridge Historical Society is located here, but it's not the only organization you can find here.
Absolutely, Mike. So this building houses the Warner Lodge, and that is one of the few Masonic lodges in Vermont that the public can come visit and learn a little bit about the Masonic Order, but also see a mostly untouched Masonic lodge room. So we're going to go inside, and Peter Opstrup, who's with the Cambridge Historical Society and also a member of the lodge, is going to give us a little deeper dive into the subject.
Masonry in general traces itself back to the guilds in the 14th century in Europe, and then it's kind of evolved from them, came over to the United States in the early 1700s. It came to Vermont in the late early 1800s. The Masonry in Jeffersonville, or in Cambridge town, originally started in 1806. And it wasn't until 1860 that Warner Lodge was established, and that has stayed there up through the year 2000 when we merged with another lodge in Jericho. This building sat at the end of Main Street, and they moved it in 1911 to this spot. They increased the size of the foundation, they added to the back of the building, but pretty much what you see, the tin ceiling, and you can see there's a seam that goes down this section of it. This is where the building originally ended. And you notice the wallpaper is all gold, but originally it had Masonic symbols on it. And in the lodge, the center of the lodge, is an altar. There are chairs circulate on three parts of the room. The one in the back over there up the highest is the master's chair. He runs the lodge. 3 steps going up to it to show his authority up there. The one behind us is what they call the senior warden's chair. There's 2 steps going up, and then there's also the junior warden, who is 1 step up on this side here. Each one has a particular role within the lodge. It has always been a charitable organization. They look out for the community, but they also there's a number of national things that they do, like the Shriners Hospital.
Now, one of our most famous Masons, there's an image over here in the corner, George Washington.
George Washington, yep. And interesting, during the Revolutionary War, the Masonic organization was used in order to keep the British spies out. And that's where a lot of the generals and others were members as well.
And then we have a political party in the early 19th century, the anti-Masonic party.
Yeah.
So, I mean, certainly the idea of politics and Masonry were highly intertwined.
It was highly intertwined. The Masons became very powerful, and the other organizations back then didn't like that too much, I guess you could say. Nowadays, we do not discuss politics or religion within the lodge room.
We mentioned earlier, Peter, that this lodge, at least at times, is open to the general public to visit. If anyone would like to visit it, how can they?
They would probably send an email to our CambridgeHistoricalSociety.org website, and we would see what we could work out for them. Generally, it's available on the 4th of July when they have the parade, and we open everything else up.
A Masonic lodge room from the mid-19th century, well preserved in the 21st at this place in history.